All right, so there was we'll talk about this for a second before we go into something new. There was a moment where, let's see right here. They started to play this game. All right, and if Josh starts coming up hard to his left, so let's say he really starts beating me at the hips here, right? And there's a moment where before his hips get to a certain height to come back down, as he starts to come up, I can feed here for my choke, right? Mm-hmm. But y'all are playing the game specifically, not allowed to strangle, right? But you did it. You did the right thing. But I want to talk about this. If let's just say he does start exploding up, and I didn't have time to really feed the arm for the strangle and lock my hands. Remember, front headlock 101, maintain shoulder to neck. If I don't come up at all, if I do nothing right now, come on up, Josh. Yeah, like I'm done. Come back. As he starts to come up, remember, the whole name of the game was front headlock, right? For control. We play the game, alignment, right? Mm-hmm. It's alignment. He's starting to create angle. It doesn't matter that we're inverted. It just feels like it matters, but it really doesn't. The rules haven't changed. So as he starts coming up, I need to come up too. As he starts building height, here. So look, I'm not. Yeah, keep coming up, Josh. I'm not coming disconnected. Here's the big thing, and you did do it, okay? But you could have done it a little sooner, and I want to call this out. There's a moment here where we need a heist. Y'all see the heist? If I don't do anything, I'm actually creating some back exposure here now. If Josh starts pressuring into his left, I'm starting to create some back exposure. So I need to be very cognizant of that, right? But here, as I start to get my hips up, start to circle out, Josh, or start to drive up, I got a hip heist out of there, right? I just want to talk about that real quick. You did the right thing, but the goal, the name of the game is like, we want to control them, is stay in a line. Mm-hmm. We use our chin strap, we use the elbow control, we use the shoulder on the neck connection. Those things are true whether we're upside down or not, or even if like we're in a scramble like that. Maintaining that is everything. And I just wanted to show there's a variation of the heist there. We went over hip heist last Monday, like a couple variations of the hip heist. That's another hip heist right there. It's out of that front headlock, that inverted front headlock scramble. So there's all kinds of ways that hip heist is going to present itself, and you need the fundamental principle though. Come on up. Fundamental principle. What was the fundamental principle for hip heisting? We actually also just went over this kind of in technical stand-up in beginner class. What's the thing that I'm doing?
Hips off the ground.
Yeah, and what happened to this leg, right?
Come to a knee behind.
This leg needs to get weightless, right? Normally, back up to your knees. When we did this hip heist last week, it's from here where I'm planting so that, see, I can kind of rock my hips, my leg can get light because I've got this wide base. It's the same idea that's happening where I can make this leg light in order to hip heist out of here. It's the same idea happening from down here. Here, I've got a plant. He's the other post. So all the weight's got to be on him and on that foot. Like a little, just like a little hammock. Like we're hanging a hammock here. So that, just stay where you are, so that this leg can get weightless. Okay, so and it helps too if he's actually trying to dive into me. He can actually assist me up. Okay, so I just wanted to cover that. Does anybody have a question on that? Does that make sense? The idea of heisting makes sense, right? Plant, so that our body can kind of pendulum like a hammock. One leg's got to get light. Okay, cool. Let's go into our new material. Let's say we're playing butterfly guard, okay? We come in, and he starts looking. He's looking for that. I know he's square with me,
he's looking to lock his hands for a body lock pass, right? Nobody's gonna stay square with me when I'm playing butterfly guard unless they're specifically hunting that or they just don't know what they're doing, right? But generally, if they're staying square with a butterfly guard player, he's looking to lock his hands around me, okay? And start flattening me out like a body lock pass. What I'm looking to do, let's say we're playing this head on the inside. I want to, as he starts to shoot for these underhooks, I need to move out of the way and take this overhook, and I'm going to create a little wedge on my thigh. So I'm going to shut through to the inside of my thigh. Makes sense? I'm grabbing the inside of my thigh right here, and I'm straightening. Give me just a little bit of pressure. Yeah. So here, see how as he gives me pressure forward, come on, straight. I'm gonna redirect that pressure downwards by locking into my thigh and straightening my arm. So I can put I can drive his shoulder towards the mat. So the more he gives me, the easier it is for me to heist, similar to what just happened. Look what also just happened. I've got his head driving, I've got my leg planted, and I've got a post here, which means at any point, I can hang on him and I can make my other leg light. So especially as he starts to drive into me. So start trying to give me some more. There. From here, we can feed straight into our high wrist, okay? Let's drill this real quick. Here, Camden. All right, so we're here. We're playing our butterfly game, okay? So he starts getting in, okay? He's looking for that underhook. I'm gonna give him that underhook here in a second, okay? But as I get that underhook, I'm clearing my head, posting. I don't wanna become so disconnected from him that I can't get my overhook, okay? Like if I'm giving him an underhook, I wanna make sure I get something in return. That makes sense? So if I come through here and I just kind of push him away and my head comes behind my hips, he's gonna be in on this body lock so fast, I'm never gonna get that overhook. Okay, so as I make this transition, I'm here, and as he's pressuring in, I've got to make sure I'm quick with this, and I don't come too disconnected, because I want to come disconnected enough to move my body and get my overhook, but not so disconnected that my head becomes past my hips, and I can't twist out. So here, overhook, I start straightening my arm, grab the inside of my thigh, and I'm just looking to, see how I roll my shoulder forward, and I look to move my head, I can drive down. This is even better if he's really trying to resist, okay? Because now the more he resists, the more he pushes me up, okay? But I've got to use this inside thigh grip, okay? That's everything. All right, so one more time. Let's get back into the camera over here. Okay, from another angle. Here, he's coming in, right there, right? If he continues driving, even if he doesn't, I can get up. If he doesn't do anything, then fine, I'll just get up. But even if he continues driving, the whole point of control, the whole means of control here is driving my forward down as I heist. One post, two post. Don't think so much about the foot, it is there, but make for that hammock, right, that pendulum, make the second post as much as you can in his shoulder if you're rolling your shoulder down, okay? So as he pressures in, here. Now, what's he gonna do? Either he's gonna lay there and we're gonna take his back. That's not what he's gonna do. He's gonna pop back up, or he's gonna just sit the guard. That's fine too. Okay. But if he does start posturing back up, we're instantly on our front headlock. Okay, and I want you to stop right here and we'll move on in a second, all right? Questions on that? All right, one. You have a question?
It'll be whenever it's done. It might be, it's kind of a tangent.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I gotta
We're gonna do the same exact thing, but we're gonna add a little bit to it, okay? So now, same motion. So I'm playing this butterfly position. Might even play from butter half. Like I'm anticipating that I'm gonna want to get this out and heist. So I might even do this from butter half, right? When we have butter half is when we have one of our hooks out. It could be touching his knee or it could just be kind of chilling here. this can be kind of telegraphing to like really good people. They know, oh, he's playing better half. He must want my legs, or he's about to heist, right? He's trying to do something with his leg. But first off, we haven't really gone over butterfly guard a lot in here, right? We'll get to it. But I want my head in front of my hips. I don't want to be back here, okay? This just makes it easy. Like, we've been over this for sure. If he just barely pushes me right now, I'm going back. I have nothing to resist him. So instead, I want my head at least in line with my hips. But if you're gonna play butterfly guard, you want your frames, but your head is also a frame, right? And I'm in here on the inside. If I'm not on the inside position, I give him a lever to my head, which is connected to my spine. So now, as he drives forward, I'm going down. But if I use my head as a frame and he drives forward, much harder for him, right? So remember, your head can be a post and a frame, like especially on mats. Okay, maybe not on the streets. Okay, but it has to be. It has to be.
Yeah.
But on the mats, it's always a post and it's always a frame, even in a fight. It can always be a frame. I can always use my head as a frame. Okay, here I've got inside bicep control. I've got a collar tie. I've got my frames. This is how I play. This is how we're gonna play butterfly guard. I'm never just gonna play kind of up here, even connected to him. Like, I want to make sure I have good frames. Now, as he drives, I get to dictate when I take this frame out. Right. This is all. This is the art of jiu-jitsu, is letting them choose their own adventure and dictate their own fate. If he really wants to go this way, let's give it to him. But we're gonna get ourselves out of the way and give him that underhook he so desperately wants on our terms. See how I can choose when I want to move my head? I get to choose when I take all that wall, that floor away from him. He's leaning on those frames, so he needs them for support. There's a point of no return where he can't just bail out anymore. If he's overcommitting, he can't just bail out. So now if I take the frames away, if they just vanish, he's falling. And I want him to fall right into this hole that I've created. So here, slowly, right? We're here, and as he's driving, I give him the underhook. My head gets removed. I'm planting. Hips are coming out. I'm shucking through, all in one motion. Okay, and my shoulder is connected to his shoulder the whole time. It's not here on his arm. It's here. If he continues, whether he continues or not, if he continues, it's just more helpful. But as long as I have this good base, see how this has this wide base, if I'm here, he's gonna be able to manipulate me. Even if he doesn't grab my wrist, he's gonna be able to overpower me, right? At least get me to an elbow. But here, much harder for him. As he drives forward, I can really resist him because I've got a line to resist that force. Now, I want to make sure if I'm planting two posts so that a hammock can swing, that I got my post here, and the other post is my shoulder on his shoulder. Constantly looking to drive his head down, drive his shoulder down. Here. Now, as I start to circle, I'm looking instantly for my high risk position. Okay? It should be fairly easy to get it from here. I'm gonna lock my hand around the corner, and we're gonna start, oh, sorry, brother. Here, okay? I'm looking to windshield wipe my foot. Come on in. Into close guard. If he does try to resist, if he tripods, we've done this right. We just did this a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna bring my knees to my chest. Okay, good. This is from that high wrist arm guillotine. Okay, it's a little different. We don't have the high wrist. We've done that too. A lot more steps involved. From that high wrist arm and guillotine, it's all about locking the closed guard and just bringing the knees to the chest. Everything else, it's gonna work. Just bring the knees to the chest. So one more time. Just back here just a little bit. Here. I'm playing from a good butterfly position, good head position here, right? When I'm ready, I'm gonna take all this flooring away from him. So we come out, we'll cut an angle, and I'm instantly finding my thigh, okay? Straightening my arm, rolling my shoulder. As I start to heist up, constantly looking to drive his head towards the mat by keeping that shoulder connection. Looking to shut through, find my high wrist. Okay, I can go high elbow here if I want, but for this one, we're gonna just lock our arm in guillotine. I'm gonna fire through, and then bring my knees to my chest. One key detail here. Here, my feet need to come off the mat, and I need to point my toes down always in order to be able to get the maximum amount of clearance for that closed guard. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So if I'm not disciplined about this at all, and I just kind of do this, I'm gonna get way less clearance. So like, especially if you lack mobility, like hip mobility, then for sure try to point the toes down towards the mat at all times until I connect my heel to his hip.
The only thing that changed right there was your two. What?
Yeah, and my knee. If my toes are pointing, my knees pointing. But yeah, we're gonna point both down towards the mat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll probably have to run it and see.
Okay. Does that make sense? Y'all have questions?
No.
No? Good? Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3.